Hey everyone! This is the the video that you guys have all been waiting for. This is my husband, Benjamin. He is my love of my life, and you guys have been wanting this for a while, and so we're delivering. So this is called the TMI tag. There's a lot of questions that you guys sent in to me on my Snapchat, and some of you are downright dirty. Jeez, like, oh my goodness. Alright, so I'm not sure if you want me to name the names of you guys as well, because these are the names that were just on your Snapchat names, so I don't know if they're your real names, but, so I think we're just going to read off the questions, okay? Is that okay with you guys? Either way, that's what I'm doing. Alright, you ready?
Let's go.
Alright. Benjamin, where did you meet your wife? What was the first thing you disliked about her?
We met in high school. It was late coming back from lunch. Our high school was built in a circle with a courtyard in the middle. I was crossing through it to go to my class, saw two of my acquaintances, let's say, who were sitting there with a rather attractive girl that I didn't know.
That's me. Sorry, go on.
I figured, I know 2 out of 3, why not? She's pretty hot. Let's go sit down and meet him. I sat down and regretted it immediately. We live in Utah, and one of my acquaintances was all but proselyting to
LDS. He was LDS.
The other two. Had a Bible out and everything. So I sat through that. It was only about 5 minutes long, though, and that was when I first met my wife.
They're asking what you disliked.
The first thing I disliked about her... She was rather hard to get a hold of after school. We didn't do much outside of school.
Awesome. Okay, there you go with that. Benjamin, everything's like geared towards you guys. Okay, this is from Erica Double Ears Musketeers.
We're doing names then?
Oh, I guess. Okay, just bear with me. Benjamin, what does Kelly do that makes your heart fall in love again?
Every now and then, I come home to a wildly clean house. Kelly's health isn't great, and doing that everywhere kind of takes a toll on her, and so it means quite a bit to me.
Oh, babu. Okay, alright. What is your favorite... Oh, I don't know if I want... Oh, okay. You seem so in love, Kelly. When you saw Ben in school... As you've said where you've met him, what exactly were your thoughts upon seeing him? When you first have a crush on, you usually remember what made you crush on him. What took your eye with Ben? I was walking with my friend Alicia, and the first thing that I saw him before he saw me. And I just said, he's my next victim. That's actually what I said. I'm like, okay. And he wore dark pants, and so you could see, and I loved guessing what side it laid on.
She still does.
And and it was quite prominent. He's so cute. Okay, the second one is, or the next one. What's your sex life like after being married for so long? You want to take this one?
2 for 2, go for it.
Well, for instance, last night when we were having sex, we talk about life during sex quite a bit. I ask how the kids are doing, and that sounds so bad, but like, what was another thing? Yes, we have a great sex life, but it isn't like how when we were dating. And during sex, instead of going instead you're going, oh, you're so cute, or like, how was your day at work, or. But he keeps going, so it must work. You go, your turn.
As she said, sex last night definitely didn't hold the entirety of our attention, but a good portion of it.
There you go.
Interestingly, the time before that was quite the opposite experience, so it varies.
You keep things interesting, Oh, this one's awful. You guys, who thinks of it? Okay, some girl in Peru. Ben, I saw a picture of you in the background of Kelly's living room once. How can one man be so attractive? If you ever decide to come to Peru, can I blank you? I'm not allowed to say F. Hook. Because I'll get flagged. So why don't you answer Trisha's life?
Well, Trisha's life, I am quite flattered. Unfortunately, I'm in a committed relationship.
Better be more than that. It's not just committed, we are a team. Is that all you have to say?
I'm so attractive because I eat my mushrooms.
He's so attractive because he eats his mushrooms. That's a great... Okay, whatever. Madison Glover, favorite place to go together? You know, I personally... We go to the movies every week, almost. I love doing that. And I also love going to Disneyland with my little booger. I love him. What's yours?
There's some history behind going to the movie theaters. That was at a theater nearby, just a local small one, was Kelly's first job as a teenager.
I loved it.
And so it's always held special sentiment with her.
Mm-hmm.
And that's carried through the rest of her life, and I certainly do like popcorn.
Yeah, he eats the whole bowl, and then he complains every time, I have a stomach ache. And it's like, and when I try to tell him to stop eating that all the large popcorn, like, you should go get the thing, and he eats it all. But then he doesn't stop himself. It's like, you're gonna get a stomach ache. I know you are, but he doesn't care. So it's like, I don't pity him.
It's worth it.
Yes.
It's worth it.
And he oversalts it. Oh my gosh, I like puke literally in my mouth every time I take one, and my mouth just like, it's so bad. So he unsalts one side for me. Keeps it unsalted. He's nice like that because he's so cute. Alright. Right, am I missing things? Okay. How do you handle conflicts? Well, who are you asking, Handy Mandy? Like, I handle conflicts head on. And I'm very blunt. Here, you answer yours.
I'm assuming you mean together, in which case the answer would be poorly.
Okay, he's a water sign, and I'm a firebender. You know, I mean, we're totally opposite. So I handle things very in your face. He handles things like, let's not confront people. Let's not do that. Or we could just not talk about it. I'm like, oh, hell no, we are talking about it now. So it can become a problem sometimes. Most of the time, every time.
We differ on the perspective, but we've been married for quite some time all the same.
And you know what I love about him is that he just accepts me, though. We work through it every single time. And I wanna, like, I love him. I love him so much. And even though we're totally opposite, like, we know not, we do, if he likes something, I hate it. That's the way it always is. There's been one movie that we actually liked together. What was that movie? So we can't even remember. But there was one where we actually were like, that was a pretty good movie.
How did you feel about Power Rangers?
I really loved it. They even used the Go Power Rangers.
We both like Power Rangers.
You said you didn't.
I did. It was quite sentimental.
It was cute.
Quite nostalgic.
I liked it. But it kept fighting and fighting. It started getting old at the end. Anyways. And I didn't know those rock things were... Anyways. Back to the things. Describe each other in 3 words. You go first on this one. Be nice. You just be honest.
First word would have to be aggressive. And I'm going to elaborate on that because, yes, it describes her personality fantastically, as I believe she's demonstrated, but it also describes the way she handles issues or problems with her life. She's not one to sit and let things lie. So I think that word fits on 2 levels. The next one is going to be caring, which is an interesting thing as well, because it is quite often too much.
What an asshole. Aggressive, and I care too much.
Not towards me, to be perfectly clear. I am more than happy to receive that. But Kelly cares about animals and strangers and all sorts of things that quite often she goes out of her way to take care of. And it is utterly adorable. Aggressive, caring. I think short is a good third.
Okay, there are more people in this world that are shorter. I have a friend named Esley. She's like 3 inches shorter than me. I'm not sure. Have you looked at your side of the family?
Yeah, we're short. You're shorter.
Your mom is actually whatever.
So you're 3 words now.
Okay.
Your turn.
Ben everything that he says is honest. That's one thing that I hate about him too, because when you're in he's honest. Everything he says is honest. He's always, and it can get himself and me into trouble sometimes, because if someone asks him to tell him the truth about something, and I'm like, shh, don't tell him that. Shh. He's honest. You know. And another one is, he's a hard worker. I know when he
That's 2 words.
He's also an asshole. Anyways, no, he works hard. Like, when he cleans something, you know it's gonna be cleaned. Like the car, for instance, if he cleans the car, he's cleaning the whole car. He's not just half-assing it. He's doing the whole thing. You know, he did the rose bush today. He's a really hard worker. And another one is you wouldn't, if you know Ben, you would never guess this, but he's sensitive. He has a caring heart. He's very sensitive inside. Oh my goodness, you have a lipstick stain. Look at that, everyone. Look at that lipstick. Oh, it's bigger now. Anyways, but yes, and I also want to say he's also an adrenaline. That's a word to describe him. And procrastination. And a sleep talker. And...
You're way out of words.
Okay, I get it. Okay. Ben, what is your job? And did you know we have waited to see you for ages?
I've heard rumors about that. She's mentioned it a few times, although, to be completely honest, I'm not sure I believed her until she approached me about doing this. As for my job, I am a web developer. I work on the front end of websites, currently for a contact center, which is not terribly interesting, but I do a lot of analytics.
But Google wanted to meet him. They actually went out of their way to try to hire Ben. Google. That's how good my little boobay is. Boobay. I meant not boobie, boobay. He's good at what he does, though. Ben, do you love your wife as much as I do? I know I've never met her, but I tend to feel really close to her whenever she talks. She has helped me through a lot. Do you feel the same?
Well, I can't say I'm very familiar with your relationship with my wife, but I would assume that I like her a bit more than you do.
I kind of have a tendency to help people a lot, too. So.
Hence my second word.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. When are you going to adopt me? Jeffrey Moon. Tomorrow. What do you think? Who are you exactly? Before we adopt you? I would love to adopt you, though. Honestly, I was adopted, so I have a special heart. What do you think, Ben?
Sorry, Jeffrey. I just can't say yes.
What if he actually doesn't have a family?
Then I'd love to meet him, I guess.
Not adopt him?
Wow, this took
What if he is in a third world country and he is dying of hunger? Would we adopt him?
Sure.
Gotcha.
If you're starving, we can adopt you.
Wow. Wow. Dan 007. Big Dan 007. What is your pet peeves about each other? Oh, I'll take this. In the middle of the night. Oh my goodness. He snores. I have it on recording if you would like to hear it. You want me to show it to him? It's so bad. Okay, this is how he goes. My dear sweet husband. He goes, and then he stops, and then he goes, zombies, That's what he does, and I have proof. I'm going to do that.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
Yes, what you name yours now. Beautiful. Why I find this, so I can show you guys how bad it is.
Clothes. Kelly has a huge amount of clothes, which is not terribly uncommon for people to have, but they are just everywhere.
Keep listening. Okay, that one's not really working the best. Let me find another one for you. You need to hear it. You need to hear this. Oh, this is one of the longest Ben noises. Okay. Oh. That's him at night. That's him. Oh my goodness. Anyway. Okay. Anyways, I just thought you should know. Oh, and this is one too. This is the best one yet. Notice his face right now.
Really hopes that sounds well on the camera.
So bad. Like, see, I wasn't even exaggerating. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay. You ready? I just lost it. Sorry. Okay. Alright. What is your go-to sex position? Mine? I like doing the, like, when you lay down and he's, like, on the side of me. Like, we're both laying down. We probably do that because we're lazy.
That's the way I think of it as well, as the
Yeah.
lazy position.
We're just too lazy, and it's like, we still want sex, but it's like, I'm too lazy to get on top of him.
It works pretty well.
Yeah, I also like when he's on top of me, like, I'll show you. Or, like, I'm on top of him like this, and, like, and he humps it, you know? This is probably going to get flagged. Oh, well. But, and he goes in and out. He's doing the work. What's yours?
Well, that one I do get to lay down in, and so that one is rather enjoyable as well.
He's lovely. All right. Ben, were you a virgin when you met Kelly?
I was.
Not for long.
Not for long, but I was when I met her.
All right, and there's another question that kind of goes along with that. I'm just going to say, what was your... Okay, we're just going to go down. I don't know where it is. Okay. Ben, is Kelly really as protective as she seems?
Absolutely.
Wow. That was fast.
Yes, it was.
In a bad way or a good way? How do I come off that way? Have I showed that in my videos? I'm not protective. I'm not that protective.
You are.
I just care.
You are.
What are your nicknames for each other? I'll let you start this one because I'm like talking.
Kelly's initials are KC, and I sometimes call her that.
Casey?
I don't use it much, but I believe we took to calling her Monkey Fart for a while.
Oh. Wow. I call him Pookie Bear. I call him Poodles of Oodles. I call him Oodle Boodle. I call him Bay. I call him Nigga. I call him, and I have permission from an African American to use that, just so you know. What else do I call you? On my phone, though, when he calls me, like, this is what, his picture's funny, too. So he's Pookie Noodle Bear, and that's his face right there. He's skydiving right there.
That was fantastic.
Yes, he's a little adrenaline junkie. I love him. Alright. Who would win if you put Kelly in a room with a zombie? Who would win if you put Kelly in a room with a zombie?
That completely depends on whose zombie it is.
What do you mean?
Some renditions are fast, painless, super strong.
Well, who would win?
Others are slow and shambling and rotting.
Okay, who do you think would win?
I have no doubt that you would be able to bash somebody's head in, zombie-wise. So you've got that.
But if it smelled bad, I think it would be more focused on giving it a Tic Tac or spraying it with perfume. So I don't know. That's for you.
Too many variables.
Okay.
Does she have any weapons?
I don't need a
Is the
weapon. I
room
use
dark?
my woods. Woods, baby. Okay. Katie. Ben, what is Kelly's worst moment? Have you ever seen her at her worst? Can you let us know what it was and how you helped her through it? What would you advise for me, who is struggling seeing my wife hurt because her biological mother told her that she wishes she was dead? Wow. It's hurting her a lot. Do you feel that adoption is traumatic? I know Kelly is adopted. How have you dealt with it? Was hers an easy one? I'll let you take this one.
Was Kelly's adoption an easy one? Is a difficult question. Well, no, it wasn't. Kelly, through her life, at a very young age, knew that she was adopted and told her adopted mom that she wasn't her mom, and it upset her quite a bit. Upset Kelly. Obviously, it upset her mom too, but parenting is parenting. The first time we met Kelly's mom together had been years since Kelly had seen her. And the last time Kelly had seen her...
Biological?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
The last time Kelly had seen her biological mom prior to us meeting her, she had told her she wants nothing to do with her, which is a pain, and Kelly moved forward, and years later we went to go meet her again, had a nice dinner, met her family. They were people, and then they once again said, we want nothing to do with you.
But they invited us to dinner and stuff. It was really
A few times, yeah. We went once or twice, and then she just decided, nope, we're done. I don't want anything to do with it.
Well, that kind of goes along with her question.
Sucks bad. Exactly.
So how did you see me dealing with it? How did you deal with it?
Coming to the point of that car ride home was absolutely terrible for Kelly because her real mom had always been a big deal to her. And her once again cutting her off and kicking her out of her life was very, very painful to her. And with the way we deal with conflict, this is actually one of the ways we fit together well, and it might be why we're still together. She's a much, much more active person. When she's sad, she wants to talk about it. When something's upset, she wants to address it. I'm not. When something upsets me, I internalize and I draw back. So seeing her upset puts me into a very silent and quiet mood, which is fantastic for listening. Kelly, being one who likes to talk about things, has, I feel, been able to utilize that. So driving home, not saying much, small empathy.
Which is weird because I
can.
didn't say a word. I didn't that ride home.
Not the ride home, yeah.
Which is really weird for me.
Getting home when she was able and wanting to talk about it, being there, listening, empathizing, saying, wow, this does suck. Being upset or at the same level of emotion as somebody else can go a long way as well. Sorry to hear you're dealing with the same crap. It sucks.
And I think it's important also, Ben told me that I have every right to feel how I'm feeling. That was also important to me. So when your wife, you said, just let her know it's okay to feel. Because adoption does hurt. Some people it doesn't. My brother, it didn't hurt him. He didn't, But if it does, you just need to be there for her and let her feel the things that she needs to feel. That's important. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hear that you go through that. I'm so sorry. I wish that I could just give you a hug right now. I know Ben and I both do. Oh, I'm so sorry. That was a deal one. No, that was a deep one. Okay. Who is someone you look up to, Kelly? I look up to... oh, man. It's really hard for me to look up to someone. Okay, this is going to sound bad. I look up to Khloe Kardashian.
Knew it. I knew it.
But if you've read her book, she has been through a divorce. She's been through so much, and she chooses exercise, and she gives you different ways of helping you get through situations. She's just strong. I look up to her, and, I do. So that's someone I look up to. What about you? Who's someone you look up to, besides me?
My father is the best man I know.
He is.
Nothing more to say about that.
His dad is actually a really good man. He's patient. He's kind. He's been through everything with me. He's a wonderful man. Even though we don't get along at the same time, I don't know what I'd do without him. He's my dad. Sorry. Is this recording, Ben? Is it on recording?
It is.
Okay. I was like, that would suck.
Yes. Yes, that would suck.
Ben, do you have any crazy ex-girlfriends?
No, I don't.
That is bullshit.
No, I don't.
Oh, that is bullshit.
I've had 2 girlfriends in my life, and I married the second one.
No.
The first one was in junior high, so it doesn't particularly count. The girl Kelly is referring to was crazy, but we were never in a relationship.
She thought, okay, for the record, she did thought. He had a whole diary on her. I counted it as something. But this girl, Hattie, she was insane. She was under the impression that they did more than they did, and we know that it's not true because Ben's brother, and that's besides the point. She's insane. We have a restraining order against her. She is literally insane. She's under the impression now, like I was sitting, this is how crazy she is. I was sitting in the bed with Ben, okay? And she sent me a text saying, your husband's with me right now. And it got out of hand when she actually followed him to his work and pretended to be me on the phone, and their work said, we know that's not her, right? Anyways. Yes, he does. It's your question.
But she wasn't a girlfriend.
Okay, she was an ex-girlfriend.
She was not a girlfriend at all.
Oh, she so was, though.
There was potential for a relationship there, however, it never progressed.
He did a whole diary on her. He did so, and I can prove it.
Anyways.
Okay. Kelly, who and what was your biggest heartbreak? Look at me like that. I've had many in my time. I don't know if I want to talk about it, but it is a TMI tag. There was a guy called Daniel. Do you think that one was it? Yeah.
It's completely up to you.
Daniel, he was pretty bad. I loved that man, but he was abusive, physically, mentally, sexually. And it was just hard because when you were with someone for so long and then they become a whole different person after you get married. I'm not saying I was married to him. So. Okay, I was married prior to this wonderful man, and I was glad. I don't like to say it because it didn't last long, and I don't want to be categorized in the group of, oh, young people just getting married and they get divorced. No, I truly loved this man. I did. And he ended up marrying my stepsister. Anyways, it's horrible. Not something, and marriage changes people for the better or for worse, and he was addicted to Xbox games. That's all he did. He got fired from his job twice because he stayed home and played Xbox. The sex life was non-existent. And when I tried to say, come on, spend time with me, you've been on the Xbox for like 3 days straight, and he would eat in there. He had a little cup that he would pee into. It was bad. Anyways, I'm sorry. Kelly, I look up to you so much. I love you. I am 14, and I love you. I love you too, Keela Esmara. I love you too, sweetheart. Keep going in life. Do you want to start reading it?
What is your worst childhood memory?
Who are you asking? I guess both of us.
General question.
My worst childhood memory was being sexually abused by someone I loved very much.
I don't know if I would call it my worst childhood memory, but
I keep it to my nose.
Yes, you do.
I'm sorry. When I talk, I'd like have an itch. Okay, keep going.
I don't know if I would call it the worst childhood memory because it's kind of a pretty cool story, but my brother got hit by a car.
Oh, wow.
My brother got ran over by a car. He didn't get hit by the car.
Which one?
And Taylor. Yeah, up in Montana, an old lady, we were riding our bikes out, and an old lady backed up, and he went under the car. And my dad, who had been reading a book inside at the time, had run outside to check on us, asked me where my brother was, and I don't know. I was 5. He was younger than me. I hadn't seen where he had gone. And he heard him under the car and came and banged on the lady's hood and reached out and pulled him out from under the car. He was completely unhurt.
How is this your favorite memory or your worst? Oh, worst. Oh.
Anyways, and I don't say it was the worst because it was a rather, I want to say a spiritual experience for my father because he had been inside reading a book and had audibly heard someone go tell him to check on his kids. and had listened to it and came out to find his second-born under a car.
Oh, that'd be scary. Especially, think about it, you could have lost a brother that day. Did the woman apologize?
I do not remember.
Man, I would have been like...
I was very young.
That would have been so bad, killing a little child.
I also stuck my finger in a lamp socket once.
That's something he would do.
That sucked pretty bad.
Why did you do that?
I
Were you just
don't remember.
curious?
I only remember that it hurt. It hurt a lot. Ben, what kind of underwear do you wear? And do you like Kelly in underwear? What kind? I wear garments, an undershirt, and under...
Garments are something that you wear in a religion.
Yeah.
LDS religion.
And do I like Kelly in underwear? I do. I much prefer to be teased rather than seeing everything all at once.
I don't do very... I'm not good at foreplay. We just get to it, so...
And then it gives you something to play with and move around and mess up.
I'm sorry, guys, that I keep itching my nose. I have, like, an itch going on. I always do when I talk, so I apologize.
Favorite vacations that we've taken, and where are your next ones going to be, and where do you want to go?
You want to take this one first?
How about it? I feel like
okay,
this is all for you.
I loved going to California with Ben. I know it's not very far, but I love going to Disneyland with him and his brother, my best friend, Taylor. Oh, I loved it. I loved it so much. I loved going to Jamaica with him, although I only liked staying in the resort. Once you go out of the resort, it's so grungy, it's so bad. There were so many car crashes. I didn't feel safe there at all. And men were, they carried around these big rifles. It just didn't feel safe. And yeah. I loved LA, Disneyland.
And where are your next ones going to be? We are currently planning a trip to Hawaii in July. Currently, the plan is to go to Oahu to see the memorial exhibits, which
Not just
are
that.
personal to Kelly.
Oh yeah, but yeah.
And of course, do other stuff.
And we're gonna swim with sharks. We just talked about it and we booked it today, so we're excited. Ah! Are you looking forward to that? What are you looking forward to most?
I'm planning on going skydiving when we're there.
Which makes no sense. It's like
And I'm looking
you want to
forward
go to
that.
Hawaii to skydive?
I do.
Yeah, but what? Like when you go to Hawaii, you think of. Going.
I do. I think of
he's
skydiving.
different, man. He's different. We're going with his brother again. We go once a year with my best friend Taylor, his brother, his younger brother. You know, that's a tradition that we've...
He's the one who got hit by a car. Interestingly enough.
He's my other half. I love Tay-Tay.
What are your biggest fears? Guess each other's.
Ben, his biggest fear is... You know, he doesn't really have fears. He's really adrenaline junkie, but if he did, it would be losing a child. I think that would be...
Solid.
Scary for him, but he doesn't think about that. He's such a positive person that he doesn't think about fears. He's not scared of anything. You know, I think losing me, there was the time though, it could be a fear. I was in the hospital and my heart gave out and I started going into a heart attack or something what was it? Anyways, and I could see the fear in Ben's face, if that counts. He went so pale and he was so scared. I've never seen him so scared in my life.
They had given her a medicine that she was allergic to, and it shot her heart rate really, really high.
It was like up to 340.
It was really high.
And I just stopped.
I can't remember how, but...
They had to put me on It scared Ben, because I just started shaking uncontrollably. What, you guess mine?
Change.
Oh, I hate it.
And abandonment.
Yeah, I don't really fear change. I know it's going to happen, I just freaking hate it. But, yeah. Anyways, yeah.
What is the funniest memories with each other?
You want to pull out your phone?
I do. Go ahead.
My funniest memory with Ben. I know, and I don't remember like certain things, but the things that make me so happy and funny. It was a couple days ago. We were down in his parents' basement where Taylor lives, and I just started laughing. I can be myself, and we just started laughing, and I peed myself. That was pretty funny to me.
She did. It was great.
Anyways, Ben has something that we were just talking about today, so make sure it's up so they can see it. You explain it.
On one of our recent trips, we went to Disneyland. Excuse me. We went to Disneyland, and Kelly had taken some pain medicine or something because...
I had kidney problems.
She's got health issues, and so she'd taken some pain medicine, and it messed her up. And for an hour or two, she was holding her hands out to the side, like she was on a surfboard, and hop prancing through the hotel room.
I feel so bad
and
for
I didn't
people
think to pull
below
out
us.
my phone until until it was near the end of it, and it only ended because
I noticed him.
Because she saw that I was recording.
My head wasn't showing. Pull it down. There.
Oh, it wasn't. Oh, well.
Anyways, but that was it.
It was fantastic.
And I know someone was like, no. That was funny. We laughed about that today too. So, we have a fun relationship. Like, I love my Ben.
Right here. Where was your first date?
Robintino's.
Kmart. Because we were in high school.
We did school. That doesn't count.
And we went to Kmart because that's where high school kids go when they skip school.
And that's when he first got the first time he ever got a boner was at Kmart. And they kicked us out. Didn't they?
They did.
Well, I wouldn't blame him. I mean, we were kind of making out on a beanbag chair, and then I kept touching, I kept stroking him. Yeah, he was huge for a high school kid. Oh. Ooh.
Our first official date was Robintino's, but
on the Sadie Hawkins dance.
Kmart's much more entertaining.
But that doesn't count because I paid for it. It was Sadie Hawkins. What was the first date that you paid for?
I do not remember.
That's horrible.
I do not remember. Probably a movie.
I don't remember either.
It was a pretty safe guess. When did you guys first have sex?
You'd be surprised. It was actually years and years after we met. It was 5 years after we met. 6 years after we met. And it was wonderful. Where did we have sex first?
In a hotel.
In a hotel. I know it was room 37. So, it was right above the stairs. Oh, he was amazing. He broke it was so weird. He didn't know how to put on a condom, obviously, because he broke it. I was sitting there, and he broke it like 4 times before because he was trying to put it. Anyways.
To read the rest of that question. When did you first have sex? First date, before marriage, after marriage? Ben, what was your thoughts when you first had sex with Kel? Mm-hmm. So it was before marriage. Our first child was actually conceived. He was. Not the first time we had sex, but he was conceived before marriage.
Which isn't a problem. We
Yeah.
We knew we were going to be together, so
Just an interesting tidbit, I guess. Yeah. What were my first thoughts when we first had sex with Kelly? First time I had sex with Kelly was also the first time I had had sex. And so one of my more prominent thoughts was, wow, this is having sex.
I'm a man now. He told me that. He said the next day he felt like a man. Did it feel good to you?
Oh, yes. Well, yes, of course.
Was that good?
Best I'd ever had.
Oh, jeez. So romantic.
What was your first impressions of each other?
I actually thought he was way hot and his hair was greasy.
That's very, very close to mine. Except
I did not have
her hair was
greasy hair.
greasy.
Asshole.
I said, I didn't think your hair was greasy. But otherwise, the sentiment was very same. As described earlier, that was the reason that I sat down at the table, was because I thought she was very, very attractive.
And he told me once that I finally was single, and so he waited for me. Ben, did you always feel that you wanted... what was the reason you chose to marry Kelly? When did you both know it was time? How did he propose? Ben, did you always feel you wanted to marry her? Well, I'll answer mine. He proposed. A turd. He decided that on my birthday he would... Just the night before, mind you, he told me, I'm not sure if I'm ready to get married. He made such a big deal about it. And then the next day we went up to Park City to my condo that we own. And he decided to propose with a ring off my birthday cake. That was plastic.
It was completely adorable.
What was my answer?
She said no.
What would you? And then, ow. I was like, this cannot be happening. Like,
it was fantastic.
It was such an ugly ring. And then the next day he stepped on it. In Idaho. He proposed with the real bling the next day.
She kept the plastic one all the same and was very sad when it broke.
I had to ask him, "Are you serious? Are we engaged?" Because I didn't know if he was serious.
Let's see it. When did you both know it was time? We've been talking about marriage for a long time.
I do. When we were having sex, actually, I knew that I wanted to be with him.
That's adorable.
It is. Like, you just feel it. He treated me, he did the whole thing where you go like this and he does this with your hair. That's how I knew.
We'd been talking about it for a long time, and it was slightly spontaneous, hence the snowflake ring from the cake.
Were you humiliated when I said no?
Absolutely not. It was completely adorable, and now it's a fun story. Ben, did you always feel you wanted to marry her? No. No, I've not always known her either.
He did say in high school he knew that we would be connected. He had a feeling.
Yes. In high school, I had entertained the thoughts about marrying Kelly. We spent, after high school, we were not in contact for a long time, and so no, I can't say I always wanted to marry her. But we got back together, and the possibility became very real very rapidly.
Yeah. So, I'm just glad. What are your fetishes? I don't have one.
Really?
What is a fetish? Like sex? Or things that I like? I like slime crunching it and stuff. Is that a fetish? What is it?
They're generally sexual.
Oh. Do I have anything? I like bondage. I'm not like a mechakist or whatever they're called.
No, she doesn't. She gets bored.
Do you want to answer this?
I don't have a much better answer.
I don't think we do.
We've tried
everything.
Pretty much everything. And so nothing particularly sticks out as a favorite. Everything's enjoyable.
Ben, what is a food you hate?
Ketchup.
And barbecue sauce. He doesn't like
And
it.
barbecue sauce. And anything on sweet meats are not good.
And my cooking.
To be fair, she doesn't really cook.
I try. It's just burnt every time. It's frustrating. And then he pretends to like it, and then it sits on the table because he's a...
Go for it.
John Murdoch?
Mm-hmm.
If Kelly had to go away for a year on a desert island with another guy to work with her, and it was a secret mission, would you leave Kelly?
Probably not.
No, he would. We're set.
One, I'm far too passive to take active action, and two, no, I wouldn't.
Because I'm too special to him.
Do you guys fart around each other?
No.
They say those who fart in front of each other stay together. I do.
He's never heard me fart once.
Not true.
When?
I remember you made a big deal about it. You said, today is the first day you're going to hear me fart.
No, but seriously.
It was 4 or 5 years into our marriage. Maybe longer.
Yeah. But no, I didn't fart though. I talked to you about it, but I didn't do it. Admit it.
You did. You did.
Well, either way, I don't fart around him. I just think it's disrespectful. I think that it's unclassy. But yeah, I don't. Ben can even say I don't fart around him.
What is the one thing you like about each other that always makes you smile thinking about?
You know what? It's when he's really happy, he bounces.
As we've seen earlier, so does she.
Bounce? What do you mean? Oh. Alright.
Do things change after you're married?
You didn't answer you. You didn't answer what makes you smile about me.
What makes me smile about you?
Nigga.
Oh, I was implying that you bouncing around.
No, what's something? You can't take mine, copycat. Be unique.
Alright. When Kelly puts forth an effort into things and gets really, really into it, as we've said earlier, she does it to her own detriment, as I said.
What does that
about
mean?
cleaning your house. You do it to where it starts hurting your body.
Oh.
And that kind of effort really, really makes me think I married a good lady.
Oh, babe,
Do things change after you're married? Has your relationship changed since being married compared to dating? What is one positive thing that has changed, and what is one negative? Go for it.
Yes. When you're dating, you get the butterflies and everything. You just think that your boyfriend's so great and all this. And then when you get married, you're with him every single day. And it can get... I like it. I am a clingy person, though. I like having a sleepover with my best friend every day. I like controlling him. So, I mean, it does change. It does, and you know, you find things that are, you get more annoyed with them. Things do change.
So one positive, one negative.
I just said them. Like, it can be bad, too, because, like, when you fight, Ben likes to not handle things. He just avoids it. Doesn't talk about it. Oh, no. It's when he's sitting on his phone when you're talking to him. Good God. It's so bad. He sits there when you're talking to him. I'm like, please look at me. That's coming. And he told me to do that at the beginning of the relationship. And anyways, your turn.
So one positive thing about being married is you don't actually have to go anywhere to see each other.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty convenient. Of course, that's living together, not necessarily married. So maybe common law marriage. Anyways, one negative thing, there are clothes everywhere. What was your first impression of each other's family? Do you like each other's family? Has it been hard to adjust to them?
No, it was really hard for me. You know, I love his family so much. They're my everything. I kind of see them more as a family than my own. But they are motherfucking loud. They are loud. And different. I grew up in a family that always yelled at each other and stuff, and we just weren't in a good relationship. It was abusive. But his family is so loving, so kind, so generous, and kind-hearted. But when you're in a family party with them, you get a headache right away.
There's a second half to this that says that their family uses the past against this person.
Who? Oh.
Yeah, so they use the past against me, and I've been sober for over 12 years. I've changed completely. How would you recommend on how to handle this? Can you relate? Holding the past against somebody is not something my family does. And
they did that to me. Remember?
No, they've moved on
Kaylin.
Considerably. Okay. That's extended family.
But that's family.
I'm excluding extended family because extended family just is crazy.
We can relate with you. Who is it? Is it a boy or girl? Oh,
it doesn't say.
We can relate with you, though. I've had a rough past, and one of his family members, I'm not going to say her name, but she used that very much against me to this day and does. So, she's a horrible person. But your turn. What would you recommend to
How
them?
would you recommend to handle this? This is one of the places Kelly and I are going to differ completely in it. And you're going to see...
Just ignore it, probably. He's going to say.
Absolutely.
But you can't, though. They're affecting you.
If they're going to be negative influences in your life, they're not really necessary.
Yeah, but they're your family. You have to... You're living with them. You don't want to exclude them from your life.
To be fair, in our situation, it's extended family, and that's much easier not to worry about. You maybe see them once every third month or so. And otherwise, you don't need to think about them.
Sorry, I itch right here. I'm not itching my vagina. I actually am. Just kidding. No, I'm not. It's a stomach. Anyways, go on.
If it's a closer family, it really depends on how involved the conflict is, and I would still stick to that advice. If it's really too much...
If they're threatening you and if they're being mean, don't have them in your life. That's not okay. Family shouldn't do that either way. But you can't just avoid it.
We agree.
Wow, just a blossom. Oh, I'm sorry you're going through that though, honey.
Yeah, that does suck.
That's hard.
Way.
Is it the last one?
Go for it.
Chaz Odin, you are allowed to F one celebrity for a day. Who? Let's start, because there's a few questions in this. I would do... Oh, there's so many. Oh, man. I honestly would do Dylan Sprouse. No, he's smaller. Charlton Heston. You?
He is old.
You? He's also dead. Your turn? What? You?
In an interesting contrast,
He doesn't believe in this. He doesn't think that it's okay.
I think it's fine, and I definitely don't hold it against anybody who daydreams about it.
He does for me.
But I don't really
He holds it
entertain
against me all the time.
fantasies.
He gets so upset when I say, "Oh, he's so hot," and then he looks at me. Would you like me to say that about a girl? Blah blah blah. It's like it's a celebrity. I have every right. Everyone can agree. What's yours though? He had a crush on Dakota Fanning at one point.
I said that as a joke once, and she keeps.
And she was 10 years old at the time. And he was over 20.
Which was the joke. Which was the joke. You have to kill one person in this world in order to keep your kids alive. Who?
My in-law. My brother's wife. Oh. Hey, it's your turn.
No stipulations on that. It could be a complete stranger and have absolutely no effect.
Okay, that was mean. There's another person. I would never do that to my sister-in-law. Do you want to go first?
You get to bring someone back from heaven or hell.
My grandma.
Good answer. And lastly, you can rewrite one thing in your past. What is the memory?
Sexual abuse. I wish that I could have been able to say no. Please, no, I did say stop many times. I wish that I had the energy to tell someone faster. Because I did tell him and nobody listened to me. So no one believed me at a young age. Which sucks.
That's our last question.
What about you?
Can I rewrite one thing from my past? No, I wouldn't. I don't regret much, and I don't... Yeah, really. I don't regret much, and the sum of my past kind of is who I am now.
I've been in his life for most of his life now, so what would you change anything about us? I wish that them probably getting married in a better place.
Yeah.
Alright. I hope you guys, this was a long tag, but I hope you guys enjoyed this. You guys have been begging to meet this man. And I love him. I love him. Do you have anything you want to say to my lovely friends? Subscribers?
Bye.
Just, we love you. And thanks for sending in the questions. Oh, and this is Frodo. He's a goodbye. Oh, he smells like skunk. But I love you guys.